In part one, I talked about how my deconstruction started with one question: why? Why was I taught such a clean version of American history? Why was I told the Pilgrims came here for religious freedom when they actually already had it? Because here's what most people don't realize. The Pilgrims weren't coming straight from England to Plymouth Rock. They had lived in Holland for over 10 years. And in Holland, they had religious freedom. They could worship openly. They weren't being arrested or persecuted. So again, why leave? First, we need to understand who the Pilgrims really were. They were Puritans, radical Protestant reformers who wanted to purify the Church of England. And by the time they left for America, they had been part of nearly 80 years of religious conflict. They weren't just reforming, they were dismantling. They were part of a broader movement that destroyed religious art, smashed stained glass windows, and tore down anything seen as too Catholic. They believed beauty was a form of idolatry. They were one of many Christian separatist groups in England, but they were among the most extreme. In Holland, they had safety, but they didn't have control. Their kids were learning Dutch. They were being exposed to new ideas and customs. And the Pilgrims didn't want to coexist. They wanted to shape a society where their version of faith governed everything. And here's the part we're never taught. Their voyage to America was financed by the Virginia Company of London, a for-profit joint stock company hoping to cash in on colonization. This was a business deal. They signed contracts, they owed labor and resources, and they had to get King James to agree not to prosecute them as long as they served England's colonial interests. This wasn't just about faith. It was about faith plus power and money and empire. And when they arrived, they didn't create a tolerant society. They built a theocracy. Church and government were one. Attendance was mandatory. Dissenters were punished. Quakers were executed. They didn't want religious freedom. They wanted religious dominance. So when people today say America was founded as a Christian nation, they're often pointing back to this moment. But they forget the control, the exclusion, the violence, even between Christians. In part 3, we'll talk about how this legacy never really ended. It just evolved into the Christian nationalism we're seeing today.